It's January 26th, and this is round two, Up Yours with the Unknown Pundit. And I've been allowing people to sit in and bear witness to the inner workings of my ongoing emotional breakdown. So that's what I'm doing here and have been doing for the last few days. It's just talking into a camera. This is not a podcast. I'm talking into a camera over a screen because I find that the more I talk about the stuff that is rotting in my head and my heart, that it helps purge some of that negativity out of me. And coming here just to share. Anyone that tunes into this, and I have no platform. I know no one's really watching this, and that's okay. This is therapy for me, just to try and help myself, because I need so much damn help. And I'm not using a script or any kind of aesthetic here. I'm just talking. And if there's anybody that listens and says I can identify with those feelings and those thoughts, I'd welcome hearing from you, because it's part of the struggle, thinking that none of the stuff that matters to me matters to anybody else. And I wonder about this some days. I'm wondering about it now. I've been wondering about it all freaking day. And one of the things that's really got me annoyed this moment is how some of the media, like Fox News, Newsmax, or whatever the other conduits of disinformation the MAGA morons use, they've been reporting about the death of Renee Nicole Good in Minnesota. That's the mother of the ICE Agents Guild, and we've all heard about it. What I've thought is interesting how they've been started use this little dog whistle in reportings, where it's not enough that they murdered her and tried to label her a terrorist. They want to bring up the fact and planting these little seeds about how she was a lesbian, had a wife, and it's so obvious when they do this, trying to appeal to people's hate of alternative lifestyles, and they're hoping that your hate is greater than your love for our Constitution. But it's just part of the ongoing war, I think, on alternative lifestyles, on orientation, which has been so much part of recent events in the government administration. Some things that I wonder if anyone has noticed, how in some of the military recruitment ads, Trump's own social media posts, they've made use of this pink triangle upside down. I don't know, there's a lot of people who may not realize that during World War II, when the Germans were rounding up the Jews and putting those gold star labels on them so they could identify the Jews, they were also taking pink triangles upside down and putting those patches on another group of people, homosexuals, because the gay were getting killed right along with the Jews. And the fact that we have an administration now that is comfortable with using these kind of Nazi labels in their military recruitment advertising in any affiliation with anything of our government, it's another dog whistle of our of their position of alternative lifestyles. And I've just been fascinated with the way all that has played out in their making a crisis of transsexuals as if there really is a big issue with this in America. I think maybe affordable prices are a bigger issue right now than what someone does with their body. They want to make it, it's about transsexuals in sports, as if that's a crisis. And one of the things I've noticed is, and does anyone really believe there are gays trying to turn other people gay? Do you think that's even possible? Because if you do, you've really been bathing in the bullshit. So, when I hear them talk about, they're trying to indoctrinate children, turn them gay. Well, I thought about my own youth, and then I started thinking about how in 4th grade there was Myra Welch. Man, I love that girl. We went all through elementary school, middle school, high school together. She never had time for me. But that's okay, Myra. There were others. There was Gina Ashcraft, Angie Steinbeck, Lori Gordon. College came along. There were Julie, Giselle. Oh my goodness, there were a lot. Those were the days. Back when I was young and charming. But my point is, no one taught me to be turned on by those girls. I remember I must have been maybe 8, somewhere after late 8, 9 years old, somewhere in there. I found a Playboy magazine and I was off to the races. And man, oh man, if it wasn't that, there was the Fredericks of Hollywood catalog, kind of like the Victoria's Secret today, and even Cosmopolitan, checking out the models just for that side of cleavage. Once in a while, maybe a National Geographic with one of those hot African women in the beads and little leather skirt. My point is, I was getting erections long before I knew what to do with them. And no one had to teach me to be turned on to tits and ass. So the idea that someone could teach someone else to be gay is just so freaking nutty. And I mean, at the end of the day, if some dude wants to hook up with another dude, if some lady has a lesbian affair, if some guy walks around in a dress and high heels, a blouse, I mean, does it really affect my life in any way? Is it any of my business? Absolutely not. And I don't freaking care, because it doesn't matter to me one way or the other. What happens with people in their bedroom, I don't want to be involved in it. I don't think the government should be involved in it. And, I just get sick of them, just like they do immigrants, trying to portray all of them as criminals, to make, people of another orientation like they're out trying to corrupt the world. It's just so stupid. And, at the same time, I want to say that for anybody who is so threatened by someone with a different orientation, if that is something that is what you must fixate on, is such a threatening thing to you, then I would say that the problem isn't with them, that maybe you have some kind of identity crisis and you've got the problem, not them, if that's so threatening to your sexuality. Take a look at yourself, man. And going back, they've been doing this with the immigrants too, as I've said. Most of them very hard-working people, trying to do what they can for their family, to their children. And of course, immigration laws need to be enforced. If you break the law, there's consequences. If you overstay your visa, enter illegally, there's consequences for that. And laws should be enforced. That's what they're there for. Why have a law if not enforced? At the same time, You don't have to make it like all these people are criminal, rapists, drug dealers, because it's just not the fact, and we know it's not the fact deep down. There, I mean, don't most of us know that you can't bastardize an entire race of people because of a few bad actors? Yes, there are many who have committed crimes. But if we want to start kicking people out of the country who have committed crimes, you're going to be looking for white guys my age, and because the vast majority of crimes, and when it comes to crimes against domestic crimes against children and whatnot, you're looking for a white straight man in most cases. So I get a little sick of them denigrating the immigrants so much for wanting to have a better life. And to anybody that really thinks that there's some refugee from Cuba or Colombia, some little migrant worker from Mexico, and they come here doing a job that in most cases no one else wants to do, and they get paid only a fraction of the price to do that work for employers that take advantage of them. So if you think that Mexican or that Cuban, if you think that person is what's holding you back from having a job, getting an education, buying a home, I'm going to let you know it's not that immigrant that's holding you back. It's your own imbecility because you're so freaking dumb. Everybody knows it. You just haven't figured it out yet. I understand that people need to have consequences when breaking the law. That doesn't mean they need to be just assaulted and tossed into a swamp like alligator Alcatraz. It doesn't mean they need to be killed or paralyzed or treated with less than human decency. Because at the end of the day, that's what's really going on. If they can make you think something bad about immigrants, if they can make you focused on someone's sexual orientation, they're trying to make you think, oh, because of that, this person deserves less than justice, deserves less than respect and common human decency. What are we becoming? We're people hurting other people. I wonder what those folks in Germany think now, how they were standing by there while their leader was murdering millions and children and families, wiping out entire bloodlines and gas chambers. I wonder what did they think afterwards and say, oh, this was happening in our backyard. All these years later, I mean, there's generations there, I think, still trying to come to terms with the reality of that. And rest assured, enough history will pass, and when it does, we're all going to be looking at ourselves, thinking, how was I standing by while this was happening around me? It feels a lot like history is repeating itself. But, until next time.